What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk about the New York Jets working out two veteran quarterbacks, and is the Tyrod Taylor injury maybe worse than we originally thought? So it's the Jets bye week, but they are using this time to potentially add another quarterback to this roster. We saw yesterday that the New York Jets worked out both Desmond Ridder and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, so we will talk about each one of those quarterbacks, as well as talking about what this could potentially mean for Tyrod Taylor. So Desmond Ridder was a third-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons in 2022 and has bounced around the league a little bit. He spent some time in Atlanta and then with the Raiders and has been around the league, but has 18 starts under his belt and has appeared in 25 games so far in his career. He's thrown for just over 4,000 yards, 4,002, a completion percentage of 63.6, and 16 touchdowns to 14 interceptions for a passer rating of 82.6. Now, he was the starter for 13 games of the 2023 season, and in those 13 games, he had a 6-7 record, so one game under 500, a 64% completion percentage, 2,780 yards to 13.8 yards per game, 12 touchdowns, 11 picks, and 84.5 passer rating. Is that anything to write home about? No, it isn't. But that looks like capable backup numbers, right? Passer rating somewhere in the mid-80s, more touchdowns than interceptions, a completion percentage over 64%, over 200 yards a game. If you're looking for a game manager who, I'm not saying if whoever the Jets quarterback is would have to be out for the rest of the season, then I want to see 17 games of Desmond Ridder. Let's not get nuts here. But for a backup quarterback, if you needed to start Ridder for a game or two, could he go 1-1 in those games? And can you come up with a game plan to make it somewhat effective? I would argue yes. Now, is he the best backup quarterback in the league? No. Is he an average backup quarterback? Yeah, I would say he, at this point in his career, Desmond Ridder is an average backup quarterback in the NFL. And they also worked out Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a fifth rounder from the 2023 draft. He has 5 starts in his career and has appeared in 15 games. The touchdown to interception ratio is not pretty. 1 touchdown to 10 picks, a 45.2 passer rating. Some will argue the upside of DTR. But honestly, while he's more flashy, I don't really think he's a better backup option than Desmond Ridder. I think Desmond Ridder provides a higher floor. Now, I guess you can make the case the ceiling with DTR because of his athleticism is higher, but for a backup quarterback, I'm not really looking for ceiling. I'm looking for, can you come in and do a job? And I have more faith. Like if you had to ask, like, all right, you got one game to win. Are you starting DTR or Desmond Ridder? I don't feel great about either, but I would choose Desmond Ridder. So if the Jets do have to add a quarterback to this roster, my choice would be Ridder. But that gets to the next point of the conversation. Why are they doing these workouts to begin with? And to me, this tells me the Tyrod Taylor injury is worse than we may have thought. Guys, think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day to payday. Just download the Sleeper app, pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any other daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from predicted stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use my promo code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. There's a new offer going on right now, a free $20 no deposit required promo. Terms and conditions apply. For Tyrod Taylor, he was banged up in training camp. He's been banged up a lot in his late stage of his career. That seems to be the issue. He gets hurt seemingly every year. But the unfortunate part is he's a very good backup quarterback. He's one of the better backup quarterbacks in the league, good spot starter, but is just constantly injured. And, if the Jets are in a spot where they need someone, again, who could come in the short term, you feel comfortable about Tyrod. Maybe they're not there with Brady Cook. I know there's Jet fans that want to see Brady Cook eventually start games for this team, and they may still get there, but they're the ones seeing him in practice every day. If they don't feel comfortable with him as the backup and want to go and get a veteran, I understand that. I totally do for a first-year regime that, feels like they need to prove themselves and win games. Justin Fields has been very up and down so far. He had to get benched once already. And if Tyrod was healthy this week, I think you can make a strong case that they were going to start him. So out of the bye, imagine Justin Fields is starting. But if Tyrod Taylor's hurt, you might want a guy like Desmond Ridder that you can turn to if need be. So I'm going to keep a close eye on that. Let me know your thoughts on this news down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you guys next time.